All right, so let's get this show on the road. So, as you know from my previous video, I was stuck in Brazil for about 2 weeks, and I have finally made it home after the roller coaster that was getting back home, and that's what I'm gonna tell you today about everything that happened. So, pretty much, it all started on the 28th of February when I was supposed to be coming back home. I just got a COVID test and I was getting ready to head to the airport and all that stuff. So, for starters, just kind of like an idea of the prices of all this. I booked my flight way in advance, and it cost me about 800 like Canadian dollars, which is a really good like price for a two-way ticket to Brazil and back to Canada. So I got that all settled up and ready to go. I was having a great time. I was enjoying my time spent there. I ate a lot of food. And it was just fun. And then so come the 28th, I have my COVID test. That cost me about 350 reais. And I had that in hand, ready to go, printed off. We arrive at the airport, and the lady's like, I can't let you on. For starters, it was a timing issue with my COVID test and how my flights didn't line up within the 72 hours. But after like a couple like looking and like matching time zones and things like that, it ended up that it did work out and I would have been fine. But then she kept looking in like the rules and stuff that she has, and the US on February 19th just updated their border laws that no one in Brazil for the past 14 days, even if you're just passing through, could enter the United States. So that I got declined my flight there. I also had planned a hotel that was about $500 because Canadians, as soon as we enter Canada, we're supposed to go under a three night hotel stay quarantine. That's required of us. So I had that all booked and ready to go. I get declined and I head back to where I'm staying, and I get on the phone and I immediately call the airline to see what they can do, if they can help me and all that stuff. I told them that I got declined my flight and I wasn't allowed on because I have a connecting flight through America and I'm staying in Brazil. So I asked what they could do. They told me there's nothing they could do. They couldn't even look up if there was any flight around America. So they didn't have any of that. And in the end, I just got a refund so I could buy my own ticket. I got in contact with an agency and we were able to find a ticket. I could either leave in 4 days or leave in 2 weeks. But the issue was, it would change it from a $1,400 ticket, $1,400 ticket to a $2,000 ticket if I went in the 4 days. As well as I would have to go and get another COVID test because mine wouldn't be eligible anymore. And if I got stuck in Panama, this ticket would be going through Panama. If I got stuck in Panama, I would need the yellow fever vaccine, which I need a minimum of 10 days to have in my system. So we decided to go for the later one because it was cheaper in the end, and that all in all just really helped me. So then I went and called my hotel, canceled that because I could no longer make it because I wasn't allowed on my flight. Then coming up in the next 2 weeks, I was getting ready for my flight on the, I want to say the 11th. I think it was the 11th. So getting my flight ready for the 11th, I got another COVID test. That cost me another 350 reais. I booked my hotel in Calgary, and that's another thing, is the ticket took me from one place in Brazil to another place in Brazil to Panama to Toronto. So I wasn't even getting to my final destination. So I had to book another ticket through WestJet to make it to Calgary, which is like where I live. And so I booked that. I luckily had credit left over from a previous Vegas trip I wanted to go on for my birthday, but it got canceled due to the pandemic. So I had that credit. I was able to buy a ticket for about 500 Canadian, which got completely covered by my credit, so that was amazing. I was happy about that. I arrive at the airport, and I have my vaccine card saying I have the vaccine for yellow fever. I have my COVID test, my negative COVID test, and I have my ticket. We get up to the place, and the guy looks at me. He's like, I can't let you on because you need a visa to enter Panama. And I was really confused because no one had mentioned that prior. What he specifically said was, your layover is 12 hours, but you need a visa if you're staying longer than 6 hours. And I was really confused about that because that sounded extremely incorrect. So I was looking up, and since I was a Canadian citizen, we actually are a part of like this friendly visa like program, and I'm able to stay 90 days in Panama without a visa. So like we got that all figured out and things like that, and it all checked out, and I was able to get onto my flight. So then I got to the gate, I got on my plane, I flew to the second place in Brazil. I had a layover for 6 hours. I got something to eat. I boarded that plane and I flew to Panama, which I had my 12-hour layover. I was not too concerned. Like I was feeling pretty good, and so I went and I like bought myself a ticket, like a day pass for the VIP lounge, because I was really tired. I wanted to sleep, so I went and I had a really nice nap. I ate lots of snacks, enjoyed a view and things like that. Then my flight came up. I got on. I had another 6-hour flight to Toronto, and we were getting there about midnight or so. I go up, I show everything. I even did like the Arrive Canada app thing that we had to do. We had to like fill out this little questionnaire. I got that all done, and I showed it, and he's like, cool, everything looks good except you actually have to do your 3-day quarantine here in Toronto, not in Calgary. And I was extremely distraught because, to my understanding, I thought I was supposed to do all my flights and then do my three-night hotel quarantine. So I went and I was like talking to this one lady. She interviewed me because there's like some other things she like brought up, and got all that done and sorted, and then she sent me downstairs to book my hotel. Now, given at this moment, I'm freaking out because now I have a flight in 6 hours to Toronto that I'm going to miss, my hotel in 12 hours that I'm going to have to cancel because I can't get there, and just almost no money from having to book all this stuff. So I get to this kind of like little lounge area where they have a bunch of cell phones, and I am looking around. I see like the hotel numbers, and this lady's like, here, this is what you should call to book your hotel, get it all sorted. And I go up and I phone the lady. She helps me find a hotel. I had an issue because I couldn't pay it all up front over the phone like they wanted, but I brought that up to the lady. She worked it out with the hotel manager or whatever, and he said, that's fine, you can just book and pay at the hotel here. I was like, okay, cool, that's awesome. So I found a hotel for about $1,000, and that was on like the cheaper side. What the lady said was I should probably expect around $1,200 to $1,800. So I was happy I found something for like just over $1,000. And I go up to the lady. I'm like, okay, I have it for this hotel, and I am ready to go. She's She says, okay, awesome. I just need your reservation code to confirm that you actually booked it. And I told her, well, the thing is though, I can't pay over the phone from like restrictions due to like my cards and stuff. So I can't show a reservation because I haven't actually made it yet, but I'm gonna do it at the front desk, is what they said. So she's like, okay, that's fine. I saw you on the phone, so I'm going to trust you on this. I was like, okay, cool, thank you very much. I headed and I got another COVID test done because that's also required of us, is like as soon as we land for our hotel quarantine, we have to take another COVID test. So I got that done. I take the shuttle to the hotel, I book my 3 nights, and I call the hotel to cancel, then I call the airline. Now, the airline were saying that for me to reschedule, it's going to cost me about a $500 difference, and since it's so close to my departure, I got to the hotel at about 2 in the morning at this point, so about 4 hours before my flight. So the lady was like, yeah, since it's so soon, we're going to have to charge you a fine of, like a fee of $100 from like just the inconvenience and stuff like that. And I was like, well, that's not gonna work because I'm required to stay here. I can't afford it. Like I cannot buy a ticket. And the price was gonna be about like $500 if I just rescheduled it, or $800 if I just bought a new ticket altogether. So I ended up canceling my ticket because I just couldn't reschedule it because I couldn't buy it. And I was able to call my family and tell them what's going on, and they sent me the money to be able to buy my ticket. So I ended up getting like my credit back. I was able to buy my ticket at about at $800. I only was able to use 300 credit because I got charged the 100. So I got that all set, and I had my ticket for the 16th. I then realized that 3-night hotel I'd be checking out on the 15th, not the 16th. So I had to quickly reschedule that. Luckily, it was the exact same price. So I'm pretty lucky there. And something happened in the system, and it refunded my ticket cost, like my seat cost. So I ended up getting like $50 back from my seat. So that was really nice. I spent the whole weekend like watching YouTube and things like that, waiting for, the time to pass. And I saw that I needed another COVID test to get on the plane. And I was really concerned because in quarantine I wasn't allowed to stay. So I was wondering, do I have to book it? How soon will I get the results and all this stuff? Turns out I didn't need the COVID test because the 3-night quarantine counted to it. And if I came up negative on the test, then I'd be good to go. So that was all set up and ready. I then, on the night before my flight, booked the shuttle to go to the hotel, to the airport, and I got that all sorted. I had a good night rest, woke up early in the morning, packed all the things I needed to, and headed off. I treated myself to a nice little breakfast, and I flew to Calgary, to where I got picked up and brought home. And here I am now, able to play games with my friends, record videos, and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it was definitely a crazy hectic trip. I was extremely on edge the entire 2 weeks because there was just so many things that went wrong, that could have gone wrong. Another thing I was concerned about was getting kidnapped by security and stuff like that, and getting taken to the hotel here that forces you to do 2 weeks. So I was really worried about that, and I was pretty convinced of myself that I would get kidnapped because just everything else went wrong. So why not this? Why wouldn't this just go wrong too? And the thing that upset me the most was not that I didn't plan for any of this stuff. I definitely looked into it. I had everything booked that I needed to. I had the COVID test, I did the Arrive Canada app, I booked the hotel, and I just managed everything. It's just I was just blindsided by it actually has to happen here, not at the end of the flight I read, or just that I wasn't notified that America closed its borders, so I couldn't get home. And it's just no one was actually helping me. Like, I got stuck there, and the original airline I was with just didn't look into helping me find a flight back at all. Like, I had to go to an agency there in Brazil to get a ticket back, and it just really sucked, the whole thing. Luckily, like, I was with some good company. I spent like some wonderful time with my girlfriend. I was able to enjoy like a bit more time, but it's just, yeah, the whole situation was just really terrible. And yeah, like I said, like, no one was helping me at all. I had to figure it out on my own. Like, when I say no one was helping me, I do mean like the airlines, or like the official people that are supposed to be doing it, right? But I definitely did get like a lot of support from like my girlfriend's family, from a couple of my friends and things like that. From my family sent me like some money too, so I was able to get home safely and am here today. But if I didn't have any of the help from them, I would still be stuck in Brazil. So I'm extremely grateful for their help. Yeah, no, that's kind of all I have to say. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to, try and answer them to the best of my abilities. But as of right now, thank you guys for listening in and watching. Have a good rest of your night. Bye.